Hello everybody and welcome back to the shop. Yeah, we're in here. Usually it'd be a little bit more exciting, except I'm not here to have fun putting on brand new accessories. Well, kind of am, but not in the same sense I normally would, because it's not really voluntarily I have to do this. See, we had a little bit of a problem last Sunday, and that's kind of why I haven't really done a video, because I kind of wanted to wrap this all together. I was driving along with Mark from High Tech Auto Repair. He wanted to call me out, wanted to go riding. I said, hell yeah, we'll go riding. And he just picked himself up a nice Suzuki WR250R. I believe that's the model number. It was actually one of the bikes I was looking, not that particular one, but one of that model was kind of one I was looking at for an enduro bike when I was in the market for one before I picked up Penelope here. And I was playing around behind him because he just got it out in the trail that day and wanted to make sure it was running good. Just like any used machine, you never know what could happen. So I was following around, and I was dicking around doing wheelies and tried to go from first to second in a wheelie, and I went over backwards, and I stood her up good, right up on our fender, destroyed the license plate, pretty much dented the exhaust, but bent the living hell out of my foot peg there and brake. It stood straight up and went bam right on its side. I was perfectly fine. I slid right behind her with my gear on. Not even a bit of road rash, or not even hurt myself at all. I was perfectly fine. I had all my gear on. Scraped up a little bit there, but nothing bad. Got brand new stickers for that now because I brought a whole new kit. Zeta handguard kit took a hell of a hit. No problem there. It saved me having to buy new controls and stuff. Everything's actually perfectly fine there. It's just that it's bent up to hell. She's all bent. As you can see, that's not normal. That's a bit bent. So got myself a new set of bars. I took the liberty of of going with the Fusion Pro Taper Fusion handlebars, which this inside here, the bar in the middle can be locked and unlocked, so it either flexes with it telescopes in and out, flexes with the bar, or it'll you can be locked. You just locked, keeps it sturdy, and unlocked allows this bar to telescope in and out of itself, so you get 30% more flex out of this bar, and it's supposed to be kind of like more shock absorbing in other situations where you might want that, and really heavy duty control with it locked, just a solid feel, I should say, not heavy duty control with, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But in any case, yeah, that's pretty much it. So Pro Taper pretty much kind of combined two tempered things together to make this bar a pretty decent solid design, I guess. That's what it's supposed to be. And this is 1 1/8 versus 7/8, which those bars. So this should be a little bit better, stronger. If it only came in black, unfortunately, I kind of would want the blue, but yeah, she'll look fine up there. She's a little bit longer though on the bar ends, but they give you these little measurements so you can cut them back to whatever size you want. I do have to take and open up the ends anyway to put the Zeta kit back in. Not sure how the bar ends are going to go in because I got to get those expanding plugs out of there. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. But and this accepts all the same controls, supposedly original, because you notice it tapers down at the end back to the original size. So all of my controls should go right back on there. No problemo. And maybe I'll leave it long. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out how I want to do it once I get there. But for the most part, it's just right now I have a problem. See, the tail light still works, but there's a little bit of an issue. The light here is out, and I have no directionals. Also lost my headlight. I don't really know what happened there. Zeta kit works perfectly though. It took a hell of a hit and still worked perfectly, but I lost my headlight. So it might be due to a fuse. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. So let's strip her down and see if we can get the electrical working. All right, we are back and we're stripped down. As you notice, I got the old fender, like I said, back on there just for testing purposes, and found out what the problem was electrically. It was just a fuse. Thank you very much. That's all I needed to know. And we have a headlight and we have directionals, and everything is actually functioning. Of course, the headlight doesn't come on when you turn the key on, but trust me, when I started it up, it works. And you can see the directional is functioning properly, and you flip it to the other side and this one's working. And because of the 12 o'clock labs kit, it functions properly without with the other bulbs in the back being there. So if you ever didn't go with LEDs in the rear, you can, with that 12 o'clock labs setup, it works perfectly. Just, I went over it in the other video, but just in case you're wondering, the reason why everything works nicely with this kit is because of that, but it's also a reason why I think the headlight fuse blew out is because the extra modifications I did, and partially because I think it was integrated tail light and fender tail light, brake light, and directionals I did. It may have been the reason why the headlight fuse blew out instead of the directional fuse, which is something to think about if you have a problem. Perfectly fine that the fuse blew. It's just that you understand that it's not going to be the one you thought of. You know, it's kind of mind-boggling why the headlight's out. You know, I actually cut the wire so severely when I took it apart, it actually fell out. This wire was attached to that left directional there, and my license plate is so crunched up in there, it's like a ball. It's bad. Yeah, it's don't even know. I gotta go get a new license plate. The rear fender got bent up, and I scraped the living heck out of that corner there. Not a big deal. I took like a quarter of the nut away, but it's not really holding much there anyway. I'm not too worried about it. Bend it back with a flat pair of pliers or something, and maybe touch it up. I should have probably washed it before I started this. But in any case, yeah, we're in a good spot. Fuses are nothing major. I had a backup fuse in there, which I'm using right now. I'm going to see if I can't go find myself another, I think it's a 10 amp, 15 amp fuse that's there, and get myself another mini 15 to put in there for a spare, just in case this happens again. Now I know. And just make sure you unplug your plugs before you put the fuse in, because if you have an accident like this, because then you'll blow your fuse out again, and it'll never work. But that's one thing that's kind of a major thing, thing I was worried about, because it was getting dark and I didn't have a headlight. So I was so mind-boggling, like going through the trails, like why in the world is my headlight out if it's just the rear end that got hit? Well, must have been just because of the way the wiring is now. I can't really tell exactly what it is in the circuit that did it, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's just now I know that's the fuse to look for, so I'll keep a spare one of those. Yeah, we're in a good spot. We'll fix the tail, put the new fender eliminator kit on there. It's not going to be big. I'm not going to film that part because I already did the whole thing, but the handlebars I will film because I've never done these before, and they're kind of neat. And something I don't think I went over with is that these bars have markings. If I do cut them back to the stock length of which the originals are here, I'm not sure if I will or not. I mean, it's not bad. It just, I don't know. It's only like a half an inch difference. Maybe it's not a big deal, but if you do cut them down to different lengths, depending on what you're doing, they have marks on each side. About, I think that's up to 1 inch. I could be wrong exactly if it's marked perfectly, but it goes if you do one side one way, you can do the other way, and it's not bad at all, because you know exactly where you need to make your cuts. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route or not, but we'll figure it out as we go. And not a bad setup the Pro Tapers come up with. I believe all their bars are the same length, so you got that kind of option to do whatever you want with them. And the bend, this angle here, it's hard to tell. I think it's a little less on the new one. Not sure if that's perfect. I mean, also these could be tilted back a little bit. It's probably hard to tell. I can't even tell. This one over here is also bent. Look at this thing. It bends in a curve. I don't know if you could pick it up on the camera, but I mean, I bent the living hell out of that, and that's not good. So we got to change it out. It doesn't seem to be anything else broken. We're in a good spot. Whoa. And well, we'll see you in the next video with putting the bars on and getting it back together and running again. So everything else as far as the accident is concerned is minor, and I just gotta wait for the new pegs and brake lever to come in so I can just pop those on there, and it won't feel so funny driving around. That was weird, driving with one hand up and one foot that doesn't quite fit in the peg anymore. That was weird, but all in all, I made it through the trail, no problem. Mark was very helpful. He was cool about it. he was kind of pissed I didn't get it on film. But oh, I did lose a bolt right here. Remember that bolt? I said it didn't seem like it was too secured. Well, I did eventually I guess I did lose it on the exhaust. But that took a pretty hard hit on the side there. I'm not surprised it didn't pull right out. But that's what happens. We'll find out some way to get that back in there and put it back together. But no big deal. Everything's all taken apart. We'll figure it out as we go for the next part of the bars, because I've never done bars before, or grips. Could be interesting. See if I glue myself to the bike. I'm prone to doing that with glue. I'm not good with it. So we'll see you in the next one. Hope for the best. Good night, everybody.